Ow. You see that? Freaking hell. Oh well, carry on. Alrighty, it's party time again. Let's do it. Holy shit, it's been a big couple of weeks. I was living in this insane home and then in this tiny home straight after. I launched another business, although this one's pretty hands-off and complements my other businesses. I hired a chief operating officer. I flew 36 hours around the world, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And I also ran a hiring workshop for founders, and I'll share 10 of my favorite tips to find great people and to make them even greater. This is going to be Monday Journal 38. And before I explain anything else, let me show you a little bit about what life has looked like the last couple of weeks.
Myself passing through your room. I know I needed help, and when you talked to me, all I heard was words. I couldn't say a thing. I only made it worse.
So fair to say life has been pretty busy, but there are some things I wanted to tell you about. I've got written down here. So our month in Japan came to an end. We had 3 houses in total, one in Kasutsu Onsen, one in Sumagoi, and one in Nozawa Onsen. And it's been pretty amazing to be living with team at all of those locations. There's something really special about what happens when we're in person, being a remote team. Not only is a chance to get high quality work done and high impact work, but really gel as a team, build rapport, build culture, have a lot of fun as well. I think that's what makes our company special. So it's nice to be able to come together once every few months, and the next one will be in Spain in April. What else has been happening? During that time, I turned 31, which is a bit weird to say. Last year, my birthday was nothing special. I was sick and alone for most of it in a Cape Town hostel. This year, I was surrounded by people who I care about and was spoiled and was woken up to Ollie, Tristan singing Danish happy birthday and everyone else trying to figure out what the hell was going along with it. So that was lovely. We also ran an Art of Mondays Olympics, and that was a lot of fun using the most of this epic space, which I'll put on screen right now. I'll create an entire video just for that, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see what that looked like. But here is a little sneak peek, all the raw stuff, like the stuff you wouldn't see in a highlight reel. Just want to show you some clips of what it's actually like. My mum sent me a playlist of about 30 different Evan birthday songs. You guys haven't met him before, but his name's Jay.
I said no sweet treats, but this is one of those rare
I don't know if you can hear that, but our car is speaking to us in Japanese. I think it's saying, hurry up, Rachel, let's go.
Where are we going?
That's so beautiful.
And cold.
And cold. They've got their feet in the hot water over here.
Oh.
Now you got to pay for this content.
Yeah, cut the cameras.
So we have one of Bossman's finest, new character, Kusatsu.
Got cake.
We got cake.
So we're about to have our first ever Camp Mondays team meeting with Scarlett. And also I want you to answer the question, what is the impact of me completing this task? What's the benefit? What's the flow-on effect?
So just a touch, you don't have to.
This is house number 2 of our Japan team trip. And trust me when I say, it's not like any ordinary house. Too easy. Why are you made to cut?
We are going to kidnap.
You got it in the bag.
Cut.
Yeah.
This is, you must decide what.
See you, bro.
Yeah, meanwhile, we're getting intimate in the back here and can't really breathe.
Now, for our wonderful tour. So we have our office, our bedroom. What is this?
It's called a darumado.
Darumado?
It's a traditional Japanese good luck charm.
Nice.
And into.
Cut.
You're the man I need. And music. So that's what I've been doing lately. And what about what I've been thinking about lately? Hiring. Honestly, it's been everything to do with hiring. That's consumed my days, my weeks, my mind, my sleep, my dreams. And I thought, well, if I'm obsessed with hiring right now, then I might as well share some of the value with you guys. And I also drove over to the Out of Monday's residency, which was happening a couple hours away with Jai, and ran this hiring workshop for the crew, and feedback was amazing. So I'll share some of that value with you right now. Here are 10 tips I'd love to share. First on the hiring side, and then on the leadership side, because hiring is just the first half of the equation. It's finding great people. And how do we make them greater? How do we turn them into leaders? How do we make them autonomous, proactive, and raise the standards of everyone around them? Here's how. Well, at least in my experience. For context, I'm going to put something on screen that shows my step-by-step process of how I find people. Okay, now that you've got that context, here are my tips. Tip number 1 is in the job description, make sure to outline a growth pathway. This is really motivating for A players because they want to advance. They want to know it's actually possible in your company. They don't want to just step into a role where there is a ceiling. So for instance, if you're hiring a junior salesperson, then let them know with good work and results, we can progress to senior salesperson, we can progress to head of sales, we can progress to head of growth. Tip number 2, in the challenge, literally say this line. P.S. I love when people go above and beyond. This is your permission to do so. If an A player sees this, they love that. It's an invitation for them to show what they're made of. This also allows the B players, for lack of a better phrase, to show themselves by not doing the extra thing. So we're creating an invitation for anyone who wants it to show us what they're made of. And if they don't take that invitation, then they're not going to progress. Tip number 3 is in the interview, I ask, is there anything that we should know now? Because we don't like surprises. This is just a better way of asking people about their weaknesses. A bad answer to this question is, you'll be surprised how good I am at my job. Tip number 4 for hiring rock stars is don't marry them early, date them to find out if you're a fit, just like you would in a relationship. And the way that we usually do this is to have a 3-month phase 1, which is a much nicer way of saying a probation period. So phase 1, the idea is probably a slightly lower salary, a chance to get to know each other and really invite the person that this is an opportunity for you to prove yourself. Then at the end of phase 1, phase 2 starts, and that's where you might unlock things like a higher salary, performance bonuses. If it's a really senior role, maybe there's equity, revenue share involved, but the goal is again to scare away the B players because they want immediate reward, whereas the A players will understand, of course, I'm going to do an amazing job in the next 3 months, and they're focused more on the medium to the long term, and they know what they're capable of. That's tip number 4. Tip number 5 is probably the one that is my favorite, is understand what motivates somebody before you make them an offer. Some people are motivated by money, others are motivated by status, others by freedom, the idea to work anywhere at any time. Some people are motivated by learning or proximity to specific types of people. Once you understand what someone is looking for and what will get them really excited to show up every single day, then you've unlocked the cheat code. Because when someone's motivated to perform well at their role, they're going to do a better job. That also can actually save you a lot of money as well. If you find that someone isn't actually motivated by money, but they're motivated by other things, then go heavier on the other things and lighter on the stuff that's not as important to them. So those are my hiring tips. And I want to share quickly what I think most founders still get wrong about hiring. Firstly, tolerating B players for far too long. What you walk past and what you tolerate becomes tomorrow's culture. Not understanding the priority of people first, then product, then profit, and putting profit before people, therefore demotivating people. Not advertising a clear growth pathway for the role. Always hiring for the culture and less about the skill and the ambition and the attitude. Setting vague expectations, that's a big one. And having a process that's too easy to apply for, which means no one can stand out and then you don't really know who is the best of the bunch. Sometimes founders rush when they're desperate. I've done it. Leave a comment if you've done it as well. And this is a big one for founders who are struggling with ego, hero complex, the inability to hire someone who's more intelligent than them. This is a big one because if you can't hire someone who can raise the average of the team, then you're going to be a bottleneck forever and you're going to always be the final say, which maybe is what you want, but you will unlock a lot if you open the door to people who can challenge your ideas and bring more experience, more intelligence than we could on our own. That's a hot take. Curious to hear what you think about it. But Of course, hiring is only one half of the equation. Once you find a good person, how do you keep them around and how do you make them even better? So here are 5 tips for leadership to make your good hires great. Number 1, don't be stingy with resources. Education and learning is what sets us apart from everybody else. So invest in courses, books, mentors, etc. Number 2 is ask questions even when you know the answer, because if you answer everything, then congratulations, you are a help desk. But if you ask questions that allow your team to come to the answer and the conclusion themselves, then it encourages that critical thinking and makes them rely less on you. Tip number 3, what I mentioned before, you get what you tolerate. So if you walk past something today, then it becomes the norm. Once you see a problem, if someone misses a deadline, nip it in the bud, mention it, otherwise it becomes habit because there is no consequence, there is no mention of it. Tip number 4, rested leaders make better decisions. Again, I know this one firsthand. Leave a comment if you've experienced this as well. If you personally as a leader are exhausted, burnt out, struggling too many things, you cannot provide enough support and clear thinking for your team for them to make the best decisions. And tip number 5 to be an even better leader is to make your ideas feel like theirs. People will defend their own idea like it's their child. It's up to you to guide them to having that idea. How do you do that? By asking questions rather than telling them, this is how it is, we're going to go down this route. Because if you said that to me, I'd say, do it yourself. But if you ask me, how do I think we should get from A to B, and I came up with a solution that you agreed on, then I'd be more excited to execute on that because it feels like my idea. So those are the tips. Hopefully some of them are helpful. Also on that note, if you want us to help you with any hiring, the new business that we just launched is called Monday Hires. You can go check it out at mondayhires.com. As of right now, we are at full capacity, but hopefully by the time this video drops, we will have more space open. And it's essentially a way to find global talent, the very best of the best, using the process that I just outlined, but for 70% less than the cost of a local hire. And very excited. Feedback has been great on that so far. If you do get on the journey, I'd love to hear about your thoughts so that we can continue to improve it. And now my traffic lights. So a highlight, a learning, and a challenge. I'm going to speed through these before my camera battery runs flat. My highlight was Camp Mondays Wave 2, sold out in 1 minute and 11 seconds. I'll roll the clip so you can see how ecstatic we were.
My car go vroom, my maid got a broom, my house got a room for some rooms with a view. I'm driving real slow like I'm running on fumes. I'm driving real slow like I'm running on.
We just sold our last ticket. My learning is if you want to change your energy, you need to change your environment. I'm sure I've said this before, but it just comes up again and again. And my challenge at the moment is because I'm so focused on hiring for senior roles, it means I'm much less focused on product right now. And that obviously has its drawbacks, but I visualize it as coiling the spring, bringing everything back, and then we can explode with the right people on board to move things even faster. Now, what you've been waiting for, the Art of Monday's business update and the numbers for our founder family. We are at 270 all-time members, which is up 8 since my last video. We are at 5,398 applications, which is up 460 since my last video. The average age is still 28, hasn't changed for a long time, and they're all lifestyle founders, people who have these kind of qualities and run online businesses. As for the Art of Monday's progress, we are still hiring a COO for the Founder Sports Club. The application is in the description if you want to go check it out. We are also designing some Art of Monday's merch, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be epic. Probably will drop in a couple of months from now. And we are launching Wave 3 of Camp Mondays this week. So hopefully that one is just as exciting as the last one. As for the partner brands, we have officially made an offer for someone to step in as a COO for Wealth Walks. This person has taken a female community to over 20 mil, which is exactly what we want. Someone who can not only run the thing day to day, but create way more value than we ever could based on experience. We're still in negotiations for it, but signs are promising and looking forward to getting a lot of my own time back. So that is it for today. Next week, I'm going to tell you why I'm here in Argentina, of all places. The hint is, well, just wanted a place to lock in with some sunshine in a beautiful home, which I'll show you. And yeah, if you like the hiring tips, let me know in the comments. If you want more tips, then subscribe and I'll try to share more value over the next few videos. But that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in to Monday Journal 38, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.